All right, good afternoon. Home, had some lunch, compiled the statistics for all of the Patriot Football League playoff teams. So again, let's go over the NBT on tiebreakers. This is crazy. The NBT ended up winning the Eastern Division, 3-2 record, 6 points, and they won it by the point differential with Dayton was identical, except they beat Dayton head to head. So NBT ends up getting the division title in tiebreakers. Dayton, who I thought had sewn this division up, 3-2, 6 points. Again, 33 point differential, but they lost to the NBT. And Columbia, of course, exact same record, same points. Unfortunately, -5 point differential. But these three teams are in the playoffs, and we know that Columbia must face the 4-1 Plattsburgh Platypuses in Plattsburgh because they are number 4 versus number 1, and we're going to have Dayton on the road to face NBT and maybe a revenge game. Unbelievable. And here's the funny thing about the NBT. In the NBT's history, they've won 2 titles. This is amazing. So I went through and wrote down every record in the entire history of the Patriot Football League. So the NBT were 3-7 team, a 5-5 team, a 6-4 team, a 4-7 team, and then they went 7-0-2 and won a title. Then they went 6-2-2 and did not win the title. Then they went 2-7-1, 6-6, and 4-4-1 and upset Columbia, or Niagara. Excuse me, I think that I was in Niagara. I can't remember. They upset somebody to win the title, so they won 2 titles. But check this out. Ultimately, just above 500 in those first 10 years. And then never had another winning season. And then we get here, and they're 3-2. And here's the funny thing. They are ripe to win a title because they seem to do their best work when they are average at best. And it's just so cool. Let's take a look at these others, too. I mean, I have nothing better to do here. Plattsburgh, this was a team, I've said it before, that was always competitive. They had an 8-2 record in their career, 6-4-1 record in their career, 6-4, 5-1, 4-2. So the last 2 years before the last season, so in 15th year they were 4-2. In the 16th year they were 5-1. The 17th year they did not play in our final season. I don't know. This must be when the owner left the league. I can't remember. Anyway, I've brought them back and they're 4-1. So they are literally, it's 13-4 in their last 3 years, not counting the year they did not compete. And again, this team has never even been in a championship game, so that is a trip, right? That's pretty sweet. Looking back on the records is great fun. Of course, San Fran has won the very first title ever. They had an 8-2 season. They lost to Columbia there. They had a 9-2-1 year that they did not even make the championship game in a 9-2-1 season. They had a 4-4-1 year, didn't make it to the championship. They had a 5-1 year, didn't make it to the championship. Their last 3 years, 1-5, 1-5, and 0-5. They are 2-15 in the last 3 years. I can't make this stuff up, folks. It's amazing. Dayton, this team's just been rock solid from day one. Of course, their owner actively involved most of their career, along with Dell. So both these owners are very active. Dayton 6-4, 5-5, 4-6, 6-5, 3-4-2, 6-4, 9-1 and a champion. Finally, 3-9, 7-2. Didn't get into the championship game. Well, they might have. No, they did not. Actually, they might have been in the championship. Didn't win it. It's like 2-4, 3-2-1, 3-3, 4-2, 6-0, and did not win the title. 4-2, 3-3, and 3-3, and this year they're 3-2. Of course, they may finish 3-3. Unbelievable. So this, just looking back on the 17-year career, is pretty cool. Mesa has basically been a 500 team. They've had 1 or 2 seasons where they kind of stood out, but again, no title for Mesa. And that wraps up my walk down memory lane. Let's get on to the here and the now. This is old news. This was last year's news, literally, right? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. I was doing it. So the NBT win the division based on tiebreakers. And the Plattsburgh Platypus, 4-1, scored 8 points, 125 and 85. They're a plus 40. The Mesa Machine, despite being 2-3, were a plus 21. San Fran 0-5 with a minus 104 point differential. But look at this. In 5 games, they scored 23 points, folks. That's got to be the worst offensive performance I've ever seen in my life. San Fran needs something desperately. They are they're 2-15 in the last 3 years. That's crazy. San Fran. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at game 1. So we're going to be looking at Columbia at Plattsburgh for game 1 here, and we are playing full-on football, baby. This is Dell's Branham Invention, and it is phenomenal. As you can see, I have already played 15 games. This will be my 16 actually. I did play the Commissioner's Cup early this morning. Did not record it, and Mesa won the Commissioner's Cup 38-34. They're going to get the number 1 draft pick. So San Fran won't even get the number 1 draft pick. San Fran scored 23 points in the regular season, scored 34 in one game. Go figure. Go figure, man. That's football. They scored more in one game than they did in 5. Unbelievable. Okay, we can dump that now. So that's decided, by the way. Mason Machine will get the number 1 draft pick. All right, Columbia Coolers. Let's take a look at the stats I do keep. And I'm just keeping box score highlights. I'm keeping touchdowns, fumbles, interceptions, that kind of thing. Franklin had 7 passing touchdowns on the year for Columbia, 1 running touchdown, so 8 TDs total. Had a fumble lost and 2 picks. That he is a +5 QBR. So my quarterback rating is the differential between scores and turnovers. He's a +5 quarterback. He's the 2nd best quarterback in the league based on this formula. A couple of backs with touchdowns. Dwellin had a receiving touchdown. I think that was in game 1. Back had a fumble. He had 3 receivers with two touchdowns each out of the 7. And, of course, Dwellin had the 7th touchdown. And, of course, we get over to the defense. This is what Columbia does. They ended up with 5 turnovers on the season as an offense. That's pretty good. They had 14 takeaways. They are a +9 football team. They take the ball away. So they're 3-2 with a +9. What does that tell you? That tells you when they win, they're getting turnovers. But if they don't get turnovers, they are not winning. So it's going to be fascinating to see if Columbia can beat Plattsburgh. Let's take a look at Plattsburgh here. This is part of the joy I love about this is going back and seeing how they got here and what makes them strong. Oh, by the way, Columbia scores 17.4 points a game. They give up 18.4 points a game. They're literally a -1 deficit in their point differential per game. So Columbia doesn't bode well for them unless they get those turnovers. Treywell, this is Plattsburgh, 4-1, division champs. Treywell has 9 touchdowns, 2 turnovers for a +7. He is the 2nd highest rated quarterback of these 4. I haven't done San Fran and Mesa, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to be among these leaders as they're the 2 worst teams in the game, but I could be wrong. There could be a guy. Agajanian, 4 touchdowns rushing, 3 receiving. Agajanian had 7 touchdowns out of the backfield. He is a superstar, but he turned it over 5 times. Agajanian is technically a +2 back. If you could clean up these fumbles, Plattsburgh is wasting people, right? And then we get Plattsburgh scores 25 points a game, gives up 17 points a game. So they score 17, they give up 17. So I'm going to make an assumption here that Columbia is going to get their 17. They score 25, they give up 18. I'm gonna make an assumption here. Plattsburgh gets 24 in this game. So I think Plattsburgh is going to win this game 24-17. Turnover ratio. They've had 7 as a team thanks to Agajanian's 5 fumbles lost. They've only taken away 6. They are a -1. So if you were a gambling man and you look how close, they're not that close, but you look how close they are in quarterback, you look at that turnover ratio for these guys, +9, this guy -1. If Plattsburgh loses the turnover war, they're going to lose this game. They got to avoid turning it over, and that's my answer. And that's generally true. You know, whoever wins the turnover battle generally wins in pro football. But +9 versus -1, they're 4-1 at -1. These guys are 3-2 at +9. That tells me Plattsburgh's pretty dang good with all those fumbles. So maybe Plattsburgh wins this even if Columbia wins the turnover battle. So maybe I'm completely misspoken there. But unbelievable, man. This has been a fun game. And completely unique to anything I've ever played. Okay, we'll go over the other 2 teams when I play that game. So I'm going to put them right there. Let's go ahead and get started with this. Plattsburgh, Columbia, on top of everything, lost the coin toss, and they did not win, as Plattsburgh's going to be getting the ball first. Technically, if I was Plattsburgh, I would kick it off to start, but Plattsburgh has confidence that Agajanian won't fumble early. Both teams have a D4 defense, so that means offense is going to reign in this game. They both use the D10 on offense. All I need is the other D10 to determine the results chart. This is going to be an easy game to play because it's all I need. This is our kickoff die and our other run die if we need it for running. The kickoff for Plattsburgh out to the 20. Now this is where teams get hurt early. They make one mistake inside their 20 and it costs them. Remember, this is a one-roll game. You roll once, you find out, and then you switch teams. 9 and 3. Well, there you go. So Plattsburgh starts off with a beautiful 6-digit drive, or 6-pip drive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It ends on a missed field goal. No, a punt. And the Plattsburgh Platypus fans, so somewhere around here, they punted the ball and pinned them inside the 20. All right, the Coolers with the first turn of the game take over. They have Franklin at the helm. Dwellen, their longtime superstar running back, who had an off year. Wamacow, Pennywell, and McDaniels all had 2 touchdowns each. All 3 of their starting receivers spread the ball around. So Franklin doesn't care who's open. He's going to throw it to whoever's open. Here we go. It's going to be 5 and 1. It's 40 for them. 1, 2, 3, 4 at midfield. 10 intercepted. So he throws a pick. Does Franklin, only his 3rd pick of the entire season. Franklin intercepted by 7. That's going to be Jones, the best defender on their team. Well, not the best defender, the best defensive back. So already, Plattsburgh's +1 in the turnover department. Columbia, who's had a +9 season, already behind the 8 ball here. And Plattsburgh takes over right there. Here we go. Plattsburgh's going 9 and 4. Another 9. Man, that's 2 brilliant drives from Plattsburgh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to turn it over. 1 is a turnover on downs. They went for it. TOD. 6. It was a run. It was stuffed. Who stuffed it? For the big bad Columbia Coolers. 3. Howard, who is by far their best. Howard with a 4th down stop. That would be a hammering the running back, Justin, or Agajanian. So they hand it off on 4th and 1 to Agajanian, and Howard shreds the tight end and buries Agajanian in the backfield, and the ball turns over at the 10, and the Columbia Coolers off the field, arms in air. The Plattsburgh Platypus fans aren't cheering that effort on. However, Columbia fans watching on television are, as they just stopped Plattsburgh from getting an easy touchdown. Our first down, I should say. Here we go. It's going to be 8 versus 4. So again, both teams really executing on offense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, 1 is going to be a turnover on downs. Oh my God! Frank Tarkington, the head coach of the Coolers, went for it at midfield. And 9, they went for it. He ran the ball, so they were trying to run the ball here. Who made the stop? 9. It's going to be their other DB, Ramey, who's their other incredible defensive back. That's going to be a pass defended, right? Oh, wait, no, it was a run. So he tripped up. Who did he trip up? He tripped up Kliss, who's their 3rd back. So their 3rd down back comes in the ball game. They try to pitch it wide, and the cornerback, Ramey, comes up and upends him and saves him on a 4th down stop. We've had 2 back-to-back turnover on downs. Are these teams playing like it's the last game of the year or what? That is so cool, right? You sent Tony Church and Frank Tarkington are saying, guys, we're here to win. We're here to win. Plattsburgh's final possession of the first quarter is going to be 10 yards, and they give it up on a punt. And Columbia still has 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Yep, Columbia's final possession. And 3 and 1. Columbia's going to go 20-man. And 5, they're going to punt the ball. And that's the first. Oh, my God, folks. Who would have thought it would be 0-0 after 1? Unbelievable. And that's funny because both offenses were rolling high. Unbelievable. Franklin picked off. Howard makes a great 4th down stop against Agajanian. Ramey trips up the 3rd down back in on a pitch out on 4th down. Both coaches are playing to win. All right, Plattsburgh with the ball at their own 40. It's going to be 10 1. It's a turnover on downs. Oh my God, Plattsburgh went for it again on 4th and 1. And 6, they did a run again. Oh my God, and who made the stop? Howard, oh my God, Howard with another 4th down stop. So they keep handing the ball to Agajanian, and Howard keeps wasting that right tackle. You can see the left end just blowing out the right tackle and then hammering. Holy cow. Howard is going to be the MVP of this game if Columbia goes on to win. He is a superstar from our grid zone days. 7-2. 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a field goal. Columbia draws first blood as Devin hits a field goal. Oh, wait, 5. It was 5. 22-yard field goal for Devin. And the fans here in Plattsburgh beside themselves as they watch after Howard 4th down go. This is why you don't go for it on 4th down, folks. I'm telling you, don't do it. And look, he only has to go down the field, and they get a 22-yard field goal. They draw first blood, and Plattsburgh now starting to... Listen, can you imagine a franchise that in 17 years, as good as they've been, never even making a championship, not even getting a seat at the table once? You can imagine the fans of Plattsburgh are going, oh, not again. And Columbia's won 5. So you know that they have, the fans know that this is what the Coolers do. Even if they're not very good, they beat your team. And they're at 20. This is unbelievable. It just is so much fun to have history. Unbelievable. Can Plattsburgh overcome the Columbia Coolers? They are a pain in Dayton's butt. They're a pain in Plattsburgh's butt. They're a pain in everybody's butt. Here it is. 5. They're going to go 30. 1, 2, 3. And 9. It's going to be a punt. He didn't go for it that time. Maybe Tony Church, the coach of Plattsburgh, was realizing maybe you shouldn't be giving it up at your own 30. Oh my God. 10 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Touchdown. Extra point is good. And Columbia scores on a pass. It's going to be Franklin. TD pass. He makes up for the interception. And the Coolers are taking the lead. And it goes to Gordon, who has 3 touchdown passes. This will be his 4th on the year. It's 10-0. And the Plattsburgh Platypus fans groan. They cannot believe that they're watching Columbia come into their house again. Last time these two teams met, Columbia lost 28-19. Plattsburgh beat them 28-19. And here we go again. Columbia learning from their past mistakes. How did we lose to these guys? We're not going to repeat it. They're at the 20. Plattsburgh now down 10-0 at home. This is their final possession of the first half. 7 and 4. They're going to go 30. 1, 2, 3, and 1. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Oh my God. Tony Church. And 1. It's a run again. So Tony Church and 7. This time Burns, the cornerback, makes the stop. That is enough to get a coach fired, man. 4 turnover on down. He went for it 1, 2, 3 times. He went for it 3 times and has not gotten him. This one at midfield. Fortunately for him, no. Columbia has another turn. This is the final turn for Columbia. He gave it up to Columbia on another 4th down at midfield. I know you're down 10-0. I know this is the win or go home, but sometimes you got to punt the ball, and it's gonna be a loss of 10. So Plattsburgh defense steps up 8, and it's gonna be a fumble lost. The fumble is lost by 6. That's gonna be Gordon. So Gordon fumbles the ball away. He's had another fumble this year. So that wide receiver for the Coolers has lost 2 balls, and that's going to end the first half. 10-0 Columbia. Wow. Both teams driving well, but eventually going for it gets them in trouble, and Columbia makes them pay with a field goal. They then punt midfield. Columbia drives it down, gets a touchdown, and man, look at this. Columbia gets to start off the ball to start the second half. Not going to look. Oh, and they're out to the 30. The Coolers, Coach Frank Tarkington, talking to Franklin as he goes out on the field. He pulls Franklin back to him, and you can see him whispering in his ear hole as the Plattsburgh fans aren't quite filling the seats yet, as some coming back from picking up their their goodies at halftime and using the toilet. People haven't packed the stands yet as they're going out, but he's whispering in the ear hole. And I can only guess Frank Tarkenton's telling Franklin, "You've won these before. You've won one of these before. You've won many of these before, big games, and you are the best quarterback in this league. Now go out and show Treywell, who claims he is, go out and show him that you're the best quarterback in football." And he pats him on the butt as Franklin jogs out to the huddle. Snaps the ball. It's going to be 5-2. They go 31, 2, 3. We're at midfield 4. They're going to turn it over on a fumble lost. Oh, another fumble for Columbia. 5. It's going to be Gordon again. He catches the pass, fumbles the ball. That's 2 for Gordon. I can imagine Frank Tarkenton maybe cutting Gordon in the offseason. That'll be 3 fumbles lost for the wide receiver this year. He makes these great catches, gets popped, coughs it up. And by the way, folks, that's going to make Columbia at -3. Columbia is -3 in turnover ratio in this game, and they're winning. They're winning. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. And taking over now, Plattsburgh Platypus, the crowd roars as coming out with that fumble recovery. Let's see who recovered it. 3. Oh, the defensive end, Bean, recovered it. Bean comes out with that ball, and the crowd roars when he comes out holding the ball, and the refs signal first down for Plattsburgh, and the fans now roar. Treywell comes out of the huddle, looks over the defense, and snap. Here we go. 30. They're going to go 21-2. 9 is going to be a punt. So he won't go for it on downs here, but he'll go for it on downs at the 50. This is the kind of inconsistency that gets coaches fired. Columbia takes over. Can they get one more score? And I think Columbia puts this game away. They go 10, and 7 is going to be a punt. Wow, it's all defense, man. All defense this half. It's going to be 9-2. Oh, touchdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the button. Touchdown. 9 is a touchdown pass. So Treywell trying to bring him back. TD pass to 8. Peters, the slot receiver. He's caught one this year. And folks, it's 10-7. And Plattsburgh fans roar as Peters takes that ball off the field with him tucked in tight as he wants to keep that ball. A catch in the semifinals for a touchdown. It might be enough to get them in the comeback mode. The Coolers out to the 20 on the kickoff. This is the most dangerous part of the game now. Because we're playing dueling dice and because you make one roll, any negative could quite literally be a touchdown against your offense. So this is really almost the most exciting portion of the game. You want to be at that 30. You do not want to be at your own 20. So it's kind of fun. It kind of makes full-on football a little more dangerous game. Here we go. It's going to be 7-2. Nope, but not for Columbia as Franklin's marching them down the field. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And 8 is going to be a missed field goal. Oh, Devin tries to add to their lead. And he's going to miss a field goal. The field goal is 29 yards. No good. Devin misses a chip shot field goal from the 30-something, or from the 29, but somewhere in this range. He misses it. Oh, my God. And that's going to be their final turn. Plattsburgh, this is it. Last possession of the third quarter. And it's a 3-point game. Plattsburgh, 6-2. He goes 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 8 is a fumble lost. Oh, my God. This is where Columbia is going to start making up those turnovers. 8. The fumble is by Peters. So Peters catches a pass. He just caught a touchdown. Gets popped. Ball comes loose. It's recovered by Howard. Oh, folks. Howard having an MVP day. Howard reminding this league why he's the best defensive end in the game. And that's going to end the quarter. What a way to end the quarter. They're trying to make a comeback. Columbia's holding on to the 10 points they scored in the second quarter. They've turned it over 3 times. They've missed a field goal, and now Peters coughs it up. Everything is now angling for this to be a final possession game, folks. Columbia's first possession of the fourth quarter. They're on their own 30. And they're going to lose 10. Uh-oh, this may be it right here. 6. Punt return. So they punted it, and it was returned back. And Plattsburgh Platypus take over here. This is where Plattsburgh takes the lead, folks, and may break Columbia's heart. The fans roar. Treywell calms them down. He gets under center. He looks over the defense, points out the mic, backs out, sets up, sends Agajanian to the slot, snaps the ball. 8 Touchdown. 8 minus 1 is 7. Easy TD. 7 is a touchdown pass. We called it. Traywell put him in motion, sent him out of the backfield, and he's going to throw a TD pass. He's caught 3 on the year, Agajanian. Does he catch this one? 9. He does! Agajanian! Touchdown pass to Agajanian. And that's his 4th on the year. They can't cover this back out of the backfield with Lertman, Youts, and Werber. It's 10-14. The crowd goes nuts. The crowd roars. Tony Church gives Traywell a handshake as he comes off the field. They line up for the kickoff. They really need Incognelia to get this out to the 30. He does not. Incognelia tripped up around the 20-yard line. They needed him to get out to the 30. And Franklin now, again, huddled up. You can only imagine. He's having trouble communicating. It's loud here at Pudge Hefflinger Memorial Stadium. And he comes out. It's a silent count. You see him flip that foot, and they take off. And it's a 70-yard drive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down to the 10 and 2 is a missed field goal for Devin. Oh, my God. Devin misses another field goal. Wait, 2. It was a 2. 29-yarder this time. That's what he missed last time. No good. Devin has left 6 points on the field, folks. It would be 16-14. But instead, Plattsburgh, with their second possession of the quarter, taking over at the 10, they're up by 2 when technically Columbia missed 2 field goals, would be up by 2. Holy cow, Devin may get cut in the offseason. 9! And a horrible defensive performance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down to the 10 and 1. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Tony Church goes for it at the 10 and doesn't get it. And it's a run. He's running with Agajanian again. If it's Howard, I'm going to lose my shit. No, it's going to be Erickson, the other cornerback's going to make the stop. Erickson with a 4th down stop. Unbelievable. Can you believe it that he did not kick? So a field goal would have made it a 7-point game. He went for it, leaving the door wide open for Columbia. Oh, Tony Church, if they score, this is the final drive. So Columbia Coolers, this is their last turn. Now they can still score on Plattsburgh's turn. So Columbia, this is it for Franklin and Co. Right? This is it for Franklin and Co. They need a touchdown to take the lead before Plattsburgh gets their final possession. If Tony Church lets this Columbia team march down the field and take the game-winning lead after going for it 4 times in this game, holy cow. No, it's going to be a defensive touchdown of 10. Interception return. They pick off Franklin. Franklin, INT by who is the hero as the Plattsburgh fans go nuts for Batch, the greatest linebacker in the history of this league, gets an IRTD return and a PAT. It's 10-21. Plattsburgh, literally, Columbia cannot get the ball, so Plattsburgh will get one more possession. That's just how the game works. We have to have the final possession, but Columbia is done. They can't get any more. So we're out to the 30. I rolled a 1 on the kickoff, so we're going to assume they get the ball here. And Plattsburgh's going to lose. No, they're going to get 10. They're going to punt. Game over. The fans storm the field. Plattsburgh with a second half comeback. Franklin intercepted a touchdown by Batch. 14 points for Plattsburgh in the 4th. Devin misses 2 kicks. Columbia does not score after half. 21-10. 5-1 Plattsburgh. 3-3 Columbia. Frank Tarkington meeting Tony Church at midfield for a handshake and a pat on the back. And Tony Church with a smile from ear to ear. You know he was gonna be contemplating what he was thinking with all of those go-for-its. But because he won, he looks like a genius. And Batch, literally the most decorated defensive player in the history of the Patriot Football League, makes the game-winning INT pick 6. Well, I should say game sealing. They were already winning the game. And then a punt by unbelievable. Oh, my God, that was incredible. All right, so let's go over it again. We got a punt early. We got Franklin picked off by Jones. That's the first turnover by Columbia. We have a turnover on downs. Howard makes the stop. We have a turnover on downs against Columbia. Another punt, another punt. Turnover on down. Howard makes a second stop. So that's 2 big plays that would put him in the MVP conversation for this game. Devin hits a field goal. Again, signaling that Columbia is the veteran champion. They know how to win these games. Punt. Franklin then adds to it with a TD pass to Gordon. It's 10-0. And guess what? At midfield, Tony Church goes for it again, burns with a fourth down stop. The Columbia Cooler defense on 3 4th-and-1s holds that team, or 3 4th-and-shorts, whatever you might call it. But they turn it over on a pass to Gordon. He coughs it up. They go into the tunnel. They come out. They discuss it. Frank tells Franklin, go out and finish this ball game. Somewhere on that drive's a pass to Gordon. He coughs it up. Bean recovers. But Plattsburgh has to punt. Columbia has to punt. Then Treywell finds his mark, drives him down the field with a TD pass to Peters. It's 10-7, and the fans in Plattsburgh now feeling like we got a chance. Columbia says, no, we're going to go put the icing on this now. They drive down, but Devin misses the kick wide left. Peters coughs it up, and Howard falls on the fumble, and Howard now has made 4 appearances in the box score as a defensive end. Unbelievable. Columbia, though, can't capitalize. They punt. Treywell then mounts his horse, rides it off into the sunset, and finds Agajanian after he changes the play at the line of scrimmage and pass to Agajanian for his 4th TD reception of the year. 10-14, the fans go bananas. But Columbia says, no, we're not going to go down that easy. They run down the field. Devin sets up for the 29-yard mark and wide right this time. He overcompensates, misses it to the right. Then Tony Church drives him down to the 10, a chance with a field goal to make it 17-10, and a touchdown can't beat him. It can only tie him, and guess what? He goes for it, and it's Erickson, the defensive back of Columbia, trips up Agajani, and he doesn't get it for the 5th time. 5 go for it. He went for it 5 times. Franklin then, trying desperately to make the drive to win the game, ends up throwing an errant pass. Batch stepping out of coverage on that back, where's the back at? Dwellin or Kliss picks it off and takes it back to the house to seal the deal in a 21-10 victory. Plattsburgh later in the remainder moments of the garbage time gets a play or two and punts the ball away. And that's all she wrote, folks. Plattsburgh is headed to the championship. First time in Plattsburgh's history, 5-1. They are going to be in the Patriot Football Bowl. Unbelievable. Thank you. The Stars and Stripes trophy is on the line in the Patriot Bowl. However, will they face the NBT, the only team in the league to beat Plattsburgh this year, and the only team in the league, and also their other win was against Dayton. Of course, Dayton since lost to Plattsburgh, but prior to that, Dayton and Plattsburgh had only lost to the NBT. Dayton has their hands full on the road in Northborough to face the Tigers in New England. And who will face the Plattsburgh Platypuses? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you something, folks. Full-on football is freaking fun. Bye-bye.